What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Leroy with Happy Trailers, coming at you today with another trailer comparison video. Today we're going to be looking at a MAXX-D trailer and a Load Trail trailer. I've got two dumps here behind me. We've got the DJX model from MAXX-D and the DG model from Load Trail. Let's check them out. All right, I'm starting with the Load Trail here today. So these are gonna be 16-foot long gooseneck models. You're looking at 3-foot sides here on both of them. We're gotta start somewhere, so we're gonna start at the front. With the gooseneck on the Load Trail, you've got the 25,000 pound coupler, bulldog style. Coming up in here, you've got the slinky cable, safety chains. Looking at the plug here, you do have a cold weather harness, the 7-way RV style plug. And up here inside the neck, you've got the spare tire. You can see here too, it's a hinged spare tire mount. So instead of having to crawl up on the trailer to access that spare tire if you need to, you can pull this pin. It does have a little safety chain here too, but that way you can just swing the spare tire down and it ends up being right here in front of your face, so much easier access. Coming around here to the DJX with MAXX-D, you've got the same 25,000 pound bulldog coupler. You got the same slinky cable, and you do have the 7-way RV style plug. See, this one's got dual wall contactors, if I could talk. But this one is just a standard harness. It's not the cold weather harness. Not a huge difference, but it sure is nice just to have the cold weather harness depending on where you're at. All right, sneaking up in here as well. Safety chains, cleaned up with the wiring. Your spare tire is up here in the neck as well. This one does not have the fancy little feature to swing the spare tire down here below you. So you do have to crawl up on the trailer to access that spare. While I'm here, let's check out the jacks. You got 12,000 pound jacks, Ram. They are bolt-on jacks. So if you ever bang one up, beat one up, it's bolt-on. You don't have to cut it off and weld on a new one. That is super nice. They're spring-loaded drop leg jacks. Handle here on the driver's side. Coming around to the Load Trail, Ram jacks, 12K. This sure looks similar. The exact same jack. It's just a little different style here too on the bolts, but it's a bolt-on jack. So very similar style jacks here. It's so nice to have bolt-on jacks. Everybody knows if you beat one up or break one, cutting it off and rewelding a jack is not fun. So bolt-on is a win. Let's open up the toolbox here on the Load Trail. All right, toolbox spans the entire width in between the risers, so you've got lots of space. Storage space right in here, little divider. And here, you've got all of the hydraulics. You've got a 110 volt integrated battery charger, the little indicator here so you can check on your battery level. And all you have to do is plug in an extension cord if you need to charge it at a job site or once you're parked back at the house. Continental battery, here's your remote. And you've got a wireless remote here with the tough wireless system. You may have seen it earlier here. You've got the receiver here on the outside. So you can bring it up and down here with the remote there, or your full wireless remote. That's super nice. Big kudos to tough wireless remotes. They are awesome. All right, let's check out this MAXX-D. All right, once again, full width toolbox, tons of space. Here you see all the space that you've got and another divider. This divider is actually pretty much smack in the center of the toolbox, so you get a little bit more space with that divider there than I saw on the Load Trail. Your hydraulic unit here and the battery, interstate battery on MAXX-D compared to Continental on the Load Trail. You see a very similar remote up and down for the dump, but this one has an integrated gravity down, so you don't have to run the pump to bring this big bed back down. Once again, you see the tough wireless remote. This one's sitting right here, still in the bag. I absolutely love tough wireless remotes. They are so nice. Once again, standard feature with MAXX-D. Another thing slightly different here, you've got the NOCO Gen 5 battery charger. So instead of it being a little built-in system here, you've just got the cord that you can plug into a wall somewhere. But these battery chargers are pretty awesome. One thing I just have to mention here on these toolboxes, looking now at the MAXX-D, for one, you're gonna see a handle that's a little bit different than the Load Trail. That's a pretty beefy handle. I mean, you can check it out and just tell right away. That's got some humph to it. You got the adjustable bolt here as well, so you can lock it in nice and tight. And you've got the weather strip seal. So you know this one's watertight. You got the nice wide seal that it can come up against here. And just listen to this thing. Like, oof, that's solid. It doesn't move, it's locked in. That's nice, guys. That's something you don't get every day. We're gonna try the same thing now on the Load Trail. I'm sure you've all seen this latch, you know, pretty basic, bro. And it's not adjustable, so that's all you get. No seal, so when you close this thing, yep, pretty standard. Kudos to MAXX-D on that. All right, let's check out these beds. So we've got 3-foot tall sides. The Load Trail has a really nice big max step, so helps me get up on here. Let's look at this tarp a little bit. It's got a top mounted tarp. It's a pull tarp style, a little crank handle, pretty standard. You see you've got the stake pockets here as well on the top rail. So if you need to do side extensions, you can drop them right in with the stake pockets. Let's verify height. There you are. 36 inches tall. You can see these stake pockets are kind of integrated in here too, cut out into the side. Also on all four corners, you got the D-rings right here. You got the D-rings on the floor here, and then on the back, you see it's got the D-rings mounted on the walls. Okay, looking at the MAXX-D DJX, got the same step here, a little smaller step, but step here on the driver's side to get up into the bed. Looking here, you won't see the tarp on top. It's got an under-mounted tarp kit. Really, it's the same style tarp, it's just where it's mounted. This one gives a little less chance of getting beat up from, let's say, the bucket of a skid steer or something. It's all protected here, so I do like this. You got stake pockets here along the side. Not exactly integrated on the rail, but it does have a nice beefy 3-inch rail here. That's nice. Let's double check side height. There you are, 36 inches. And looking at the D-rings here, you got the D-rings here in the front, on the floor, and once again, D-rings here on the side, towards the back. Let's talk about frames real quick. For the gooseneck here on the MAXX-D, you've got a 10-inch main I-beam frame, and that goes to a 12-inch riser. There you go. And then your main frame on the trailer is an 8-inch I-beam. With the MAXX-D, this is an 8-inch, 13-pound I-beam. So you can just see here, it's a thick I-beam. Looking at the Load Trail, you're gonna see something very similar. 10-inch I-beam for the main frame on the neck, going to a 12-inch I-beam riser. And then your main frame on this trailer is also an 8-inch I-beam. This one is an 8-inch, 10-pound I-beam, so it's a little thinner as far as the actual I-beam itself. You can kind of see the difference if we're looking at that compared to the MAXX-D. This is standard on a lot of trailer models, on a lot of different trailer brands. MAXX-D just steps it up a little bit with that 13-pound I-beam. Let's talk axles a little bit. This is something we'll see a pretty big difference on between the two. This Load Trail has got the 7,000-pound axles, slipper spring suspension. This is a dexter suspension on the Load Trail, and this comes standard then with a 10-ply 235/80 R16 tire. Look underneath it a little bit here just so you can see the suspension. And looking here at the DJX from MAXX-D, these are 8,000-pound axles. You can see a big difference here on the wheels and tires as well. This is a 17.5-inch wheel and tire, and this is an 18-ply tire with a 215/75 17.5. These are oil bath axles. You've got the nice caps here with the little magnet in the center. These are beefy. Look underneath it here as well. This spring suspension, similar in that way, just heavier and much bigger wheels and tires. This is a Lippert suspension, and with the wheels and tires, you've got the Lion's Head warranty with a 1-year, no excuse, 2-year roadside, 5-year warranty. This is definitely awesome. Looking real quick at floors, got to mention this has got a 7-gauge floor on the MAXX-D. This is paired with 12-inch centered cross members. That is one stout floor. Over here on the Load Trail, you'll see kind of that same sticker, 7-gauge floor. This one does have 16-inch centered cross members, which honestly is probably still plenty, given that it's got a thick 7-gauge floor, but MAXX-D does still have a few more cross members. Coming around the back, let's check out the doors. With the Load Trail, you've got the split spreader gate. So of course opens barn door style, pretty standard here. And then it's also hinged at the top, so you can spread loads if you need to, just by hitting this little lever right here. It's got a little pin just in case. And just like that, it's able to open, spread loads that way. And these chains that are kind of hidden right here can be popped in right here to adjust how far out you may want to spread it. So say I drop these chains in that far, that's only going to allow it to open as far as you need it to spread that load. And just like that, we're locked back into place. This handy little shelf here for my pin too is the stabilizer jacks. So that way if you're loading up your equipment, you definitely want to drop these down just to give you some added stability in the back here. Also tucked up underneath here are the ramps. They're an integrated ramp, no more flap that you got to pull. So here's the ramp extended out. This is a 6.5 foot long ramp, channel ramp, and then it's got the angle iron cross members and plenty of cross members. That's definitely pretty nice right there. Just like that, we're back in place. Nice bumper here since we're here. All right, let's see how the MAXX-D compares. Okay, back of the MAXX-D, very similar. You've got the split spreader gate, pretty standard here. Opens barn door style. Just pops into place right there for the pin. And it's also hinged at the top, so you can spread loads. Once again, you've got a nice little lever right here on the driver's side. That's all it takes to open it up. Spread it just like that. And then you've also got a slot right here and right here for the same style chain, like that. These chains you'll typically find inside the toolbox. So it's not integrated, welded onto the trailer like it is on the Load Trail, but the chains are still there. Too easy, we're locked back in. Let's also talk door holdbacks. That's important. Let's swing this door back. Right inside here, you're gonna see the chain that can be taken out and locked in right here. That way when you're dumping, That's all that the door can do. Pretty foolproof design. Okay, let's see what Load Trail does. All right, very similar setup here in the Load Trail. Open her up. There's no chain here inside the door. Let's see what we find. Oh yeah, big D-ring right here. Just pops it into place. That won't go anywhere either. Of course, you see the option that it can kind of slide back, but it catches it every time. I think that works pretty good. Real simple to close it back up. Anyway, I got distracted by doors. Let's check out this dump. With the MAXX-D, very similar style ramps. Pull right here out the back. So this is also 6.5 foot long ramp, made out of 3-inch channel, including the cross members. These are 16 inches wide. That definitely will handle a lot of weight too, loading up anything on it. The MAXX-D also on each side has these nice little stabilizer jacks. Make sure you use those anytime you load up any kind of equipment. Makes a huge difference in just saving the frame here in the back. Nice that that's a standard option. All right, I think I've talked about everything on the outside, but we gotta pick these things up to see what they look like underneath. So, I've hired my two fellas here. Let's pick them up. Look at these guys showing off these wireless remotes. What are we, like 20 feet away at least? Not bad. Oh, I see a clear winner here though, as far as speed is concerned. Load Trail is going up pretty quick. We are already almost maxed out on the Load Trail. That's it. Fully dumped. MAXX-D is still trailing behind a little bit. While this guy's still working on lifting up all the way, let's check out this Load Trail. All right, scissor lift system. As you can see, they both have scissor lift systems. Got a 5-inch cylinder here on the Load Trail with that arm all the way extended. That's a nice dump angle right there. Got a full 40-degree tilt pitch. Plenty to dump anything you need. Get a better look here at the ramps underneath it. And 3-inch channel cross members. As I mentioned, these here are on 16-inch centers. Correction, looking at here, the 16-inch centers up here by the scissor hoist. But down here, you've actually got 12-inch centers. My bad, Load Trail. You got it. Wiring pretty clean here. Everything in conduit as much as possible along the I-beam. Your hydraulics, all the hoses tuck up inside this tube here, so that's super nice. And you've got the maintenance bar right here as well. All right, MAXX-D over there is finally lifted up. Let's check it out. All right, here we are. Checking out underneath it again. See the ramps, 3-inch channel cross members on 12-inch centers as well. And check out the cylinder. That's actually a different size cylinder. Let's give MAXX-D crap. This is a 6-inch cylinder compared to 5-inch. So obviously there's just more fluid that has to come up in this cylinder. That's the only reason it was slower. That just means it's got that much more power behind it too. That's not a bad thing. Remember, it's got 8K axles, so it needs some more oomph picking up all that weight. Kind of look at wiring here underneath it a little bit. All cleaned up. You've got tubing everywhere you can to clean up the wires. Tubing here along the side. That's something we didn't see on the Load Trail. You do see the hydraulic hoses here. This is just channel. The Load Trail had tubing, so you couldn't see this part of the hoses. You do have tube going here, the front section. A little different there on the hoses. Got the same maintenance bar right here as well. Also a 40-degree tilt pitch here on the MAXX-D. They'll dump it all. So this actually with the 12-inch center cross members is an optional feature. Typical is 16-inch centers. The MAXX-D does have it as a standard feature with 12-inch center cross members. All right, it's VIN seeker time. Let's check out what we've got here. So this is on the Load Trail trailer. We're looking at a GVWR of 14,000 pounds with 7,000 pound axles right here. And it gives you handy trailer weight as well. This one empty weighs about 5,400 pounds. So if I'm doing my math right, that gives you still a remaining payload of about 8,600 pounds on the DG model. Load Trail, 16 foot. All right, checking out the DJX MAXX-D trailer. We are looking here at a axle rating at 8,000 pounds and GVWR still at 14,000 pounds. It's a little bit up for debate. MAXX-D has different GVWRs that you can add. 14,000 on this one is on the low side. You can do 16 or even 17,500 pounds GVWR with this frame and axle setup on the 8,000 pound axles. All that being said, this trailer empty weighs about 5,400 pounds. Exact same as the Load Trail trailer. So you've got with this GVWR, a payload of about 8,600 pounds. Well, after we've checked everything out, we've really looked at a ton of features on these two. How much do they cost? I'm gonna start here with the Load Trail trailer. This as a 16-foot, 3-foot tall sides gooseneck dump trailer. This one's priced at $15,549. Let's compare that to the MAXX-D, same size, 16 foot with 3 foot tall sides, gooseneck dump. This one does have the 8K axles with the 17.5-inch wheels and tires. This bad boy runs in at $16,699. So, all things considered, we're really only looking at about $1,100 difference between these two trailers. Let me know, which one do you like better? Which features do you like better? Do you run one? Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you for the next one.